Hey everybody, it's Steve, and this is video number 3 in our series of convos called Help for the Holidays. I have such a heart for you in this time. I know you're going through stuff, and really, I hope that these conversations have been helpful. The first video we talked about faith, which is what you have when you don't have much else. You don't even know if God's forgotten you or what he's up to. And faith is just hanging on kind of by your fingernails. And I know some of you are there, but I want to help you to move to the next word, which is hope. Faith and hope. Hope is when you have the eyes to see just little reminders that God hasn't forgotten you. And they're undeniable little evidences of his goodness and of his love, and that he's somehow not left you or forsaken you, even though you're still in your situation. I said there were 3 words, maybe 4. The 3 words I said are faith, hope, and joy. Those are there, and I've got a 4th word that I think actually goes right here, and that word is action. Action. So our 4 words would be faith, hope, action, and joy. All right. If you have any background in sales or marketing, or maybe even preaching sermons, you know that there's such a thing that we sometimes call a CTA, a call to action. On a website, it might be a button that says sign up here, or book a call, or buy. Or it might be a little jingle like Netflix had one that said, get a free month of Netflix. It was a little phrase. In the Verbo Vacation Rentals by Owner, it was discover your escape. Okay, so there was another one for a career website, career coaching website, and it said, change your career, change your life. So it can be a whole little phrase. It can be a simple buy now. But there's a call to action that every good sales presentation, every good website that's selling something, or even a good sermon or story has. And in the story of Ruth, there's not so much a call to action to you and to me, but there's calls to action going on like crazy at the heart and the apex of the story. If you remember, our heroes, Ruth, Naomi, and Boaz, have all been struggling in various ways. We know that Naomi had her heart broken and that God had dealt harshly with her, she says, and that her daughter-in-law Ruth has left her homeland and her family to be with her mother-in-law, and so she's probably feeling like a little bit of a square peg in a round hole and a fish out of water in another land, and she's working in the fields. And then we also have met a man named Boaz who's a successful farmer, and he's comfortable, he's faithful to God, but he's alone. I think all of these people on some level have been waiting for God to do something for them. And maybe you are too. Maybe there's something you need, something you want, and you're so heartbroken and you're so stuck, it's been hard to envision it. But I want to give you this story to kind of see if it can prime the pump a little bit. In our story, Ruth's bringing home barley, groceries, is a reminder to Naomi that God hasn't forgotten us. And Naomi begins to awaken to her true self. And she's a strategic thinker, I think. She's a planner. She's even a plotter, a schemer, and a concoctor. And she's going to concoct with God to square Ruth away romantically. This was very much a matchmaker kind of a culture. And one day, Naomi says to Ruth, you've been taking care of me. Isn't it time for me to take care of you? You've been looking out for me. Isn't it time for me to look out for you? That's a paraphrase, but it's essentially what happens in Ruth chapter 3. And, Naomi's saying these things. Ruth's like, okay, what are you thinking? And she says, isn't Boaz an eligible bachelor? And they begin to concoct how Ruth might let him know that not only has he noticed her, but she's noticed him. Not only has he looked favorably on her, but she's looking favorably at him. And she does that. It's a very bold sequence. It's really kind of a crazy story of what she does. And It's a call to action. Naomi has given a call to action to Ruth. Isn't it time you get out there? And now Ruth is coming to Boaz with a call to action. It's like, hey, choose me. And Ruth answers the call, Boaz answers the call, and they all do bold things. They do the right thing in the right way, but it's probably stuff that had them feeling pretty nervous. It could have gone awry. Instead, spoiler alert, things go well. It's a great story. How about your story? Where have you been stuck? What are you yearning for? Do you have the slightest hope that God hasn't forgotten you? Do you have eyes to see? Are you asking him to give you eyes to see his goodness and his kindness toward you in the form of a daughter-in-law or whoever? If so, it might be time for you to answer a call to action. And I have a call to action for you that I think can be kind of cool and help you get unstuck. And the first is just to take a journal or any scrap of paper and begin to laundry list and brainstorm a maybe list. I call it a maybe list. These are things that I might do. Maybe, maybe not. No commitments here, no obligations, but start to think to yourself, what am I feeling? What am I wanting? Where am I stuck? Is it time for me to maybe get back outside? Maybe it's begin to walk the dog, or maybe it's, get some sunshine. Maybe it's time for me to sign up for the gym again, or maybe it's time for me to sign up for classes again. Is there a friend or somebody that I should reach out to through a text? Is there some items on your little maybe list that you could put a star by and say, that might be the right thing for me. That might be the right next step. It's doable. I'm not committing to it, but I'm going to ponder it. I'm going to put that in the hopper and let it sort of just do its thing. See if that seed germinates into something. See if that, that juice ferments and becomes a fine wine. Is there a call to action God's giving me? Meanwhile, while you kind of do that practical little list and let it sort of, and ponder it, you also pray Samuel's little prayer. Little boy Samuel, who thought he might have heard God's voice and said, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. Can you try that with me? Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. And now not only are you hopefully having eyes to see, but you're having ears to hear what might be a next right step for you. I'm not laying that on you. I don't know what you should do. But something may occur to you and you kind of go, you know what? Maybe someone who loves you is challenging you with a call to action, and maybe you decide that that's actually good advice. I hope that this holiday season will be a time where God meets you and helps you to get a breakthrough. And that you get on a new path, not the path of waiting, but the path of action. And it's a path that actually becomes the road to joy. Joy. That's our fourth word. Joy. That's what I've got for you today. I'm making this video for you on November 8th of 2022. In 2 days, I go in for a surgery to deal with prostate cancer in my body. I've decided that the only way out is through. And hopefully by the time you get this weekend, I'm resting and recuperating and on my path to health. Thank you for your prayers in that direction. Whatever might be happening with me or with you, I want to be moving forward the best I can. And I want you to be moving forward as well. I'm going to be praying that God gives you a clear path, a next step, send some angels into your life to give you encouragement, to give you guidance, that you would have the courage and the faith and the hope to step forward and you find yourself in a new place by the end of this holiday season, a place with some real and profound joy. That's what our next video is about, and I look forward to sharing it with you. Take care, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.